Cardinals are 6-4 heading into the bye. I might just open every segment with that.
I was going to say, what did you say?
6-4 heading into the bye. I don't even feel like that really does the feeling around the valley or basin. I don't think it does it justice today. It's really more the 4-game winning streak heading into the bye. I don't know how much this matters to you, Wolf. Maybe it doesn't matter a ton to a lot of people, but it does matter to me that this team has already won 4 games at home this season. I think that's important when you're building something that you show your fans, hey, by the way, come along. Like, there may be New York fans because there's a lot of New York people around the country. There might be Chicago fans. They might be sitting next to you, but they're going to leave disappointed and you're going to leave happy, which almost makes it better.
Yeah, and not only that, just stop and think about why they're coming here. Because we live here.
Yeah, because they don't want to be there this time of year.
We live here, and people go, man, you know what, that October, November, December, or whatever it may be, man, Arizona's real nice this time of year. So, you know what they can, yeah, of course, that's one of the reasons why
come to State Farm Stadium, watch your visiting team lose.
We all understand that. The only way, there's one door for the Arizona Cardinals right here, and that's to continue to win games. Win games, and in particular, win home games. And the Red Sea, it will come. The flood will come.
4 wins at home already this season. And you know what's great about this? I've forgotten the stat that we had coming into the season where they were like 4-20 in their last 24 at home or whatever ended up being. You know what? They're 3-0 in their last 3 at home. That's all I care about. And they haven't given up a touchdown in any of those 3 games. Going back to what we were talking about heading into the break, the hit that Kyler Murray took. This is Jonathan Gannon on the Cardinals radio network afterwards.
He should have been fired up, but yeah, I didn't like to see his helmet fly off 10 yards, getting hit in the back of the head like that. But just shows you his competitive stamina that guy has. Like, give me the next play, I'll make it work. You know, we're behind the sticks at that point there. He got us out of it, made some big-time plays. That was a touchdown pass to Marv. Unbelievable.
Where do you begin, Matt? I mean, really, where do you start with Kyler Murray? For me, I already told you.
What you said going into the break, what Gannon just said right there, and what we have seen now, I would say from Kyler Murray building up since really the start of last season, even when he was hurt, but he was around the team all the time. And then when he got in last year, you could tell he was getting the offense. And now this year, it just feels like he's in control. It feels like he's been in control, even if he doesn't put up crazy numbers. If you are a Cardinals fan that haven't been on board with Kyler Murray, if just one of those like, Kyler's not that good, I will never go anywhere with Kyler. I'm not guaranteeing a Super Bowl, but you have to be on board at this point, right? I mean, if you're a Cardinals fan, you're not enjoying what Kyler Murray's doing and admitting he's doing a really good job, you're missing out on the fun at this point. You're denying yourself the fun of being a fan.
I would say at this point in time, if you are a Cardinal fan and you're denying Kyler Murray, I think the problem is more you than it is Kyler Murray.
Feel free to watch Red Zone. Yesterday was a great day to do it before the Cardinals game.
Yeah.
And look at the quarterback play for about 50 to 60% of the teams around the league and tell me, even on Kyler's average days, you wouldn't much rather have him, let alone the zone, the locked-in mentality. And that's why that hit was so symbolic. He gets hit like that and comes right back, like you said, and throws a touchdown.
It was. I mean, that to me
locked him in more.
Yeah, that to me right there is a turning point. Could be a turning point for the Kyler Murray experience at quarterback right now, for me personally, going forward. But having said that, again, I'm going to read into a lot of stuff. The cold, hard fact that Kyler Murray thoroughly outplayed Aaron Rodgers hangs. You talk about the dust settling. Of course, everyone knows Tuesday is my big dust settling day. I love that right there. But when you talk about the dust settling, by tomorrow morning, it's going to have settled where I could blow it off my shoulders that Kyler Murray thoroughly outplayed Aaron Rodgers in every way, shape, and form. 22 of 24 for 266 yards and a touchdown and a quarterback rating of 126.7 compared to a quarterback rating of Aaron Rodgers of 72.4.
I think Aaron Rodgers would agree with you.
Aaron Rodgers, absolutely. I'm just saying, with Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson, with all the talent he has around him as well, Kyler Murray thoroughly outplayed Aaron Rodgers. And that's why, a big reason why, the Arizona Cardinals won.
2 rushing touchdowns, too. Just go ahead and throw those in for Kyler as well in the game. But it's
those,
also,
by the way, love those. That's a scheduled run that I love. You're calling it for Kyler to on the boot, on the zone read, whatever it may be, to get him out. I love that.
The one by the goal line, I think every Cardinals fan watching knew what was probably coming, but how are you supposed to stop it? I mean, if you're the Jets, are you supposed to put all your attention out there on the end, and then James Conner just walks in? That's what I was saying earlier. Like, everything in this offense is playing off of each other very well right now. But I also think with Kyler too, it's also just it's the eye test. Like, if you watch this team all the time, or you watch football all the time, you know that feeling where when your team's quarterback goes back to throw and he throws before you even can totally see where it's going, you feel good about it. You know, like he's got that confidence. I'm not saying he didn't have confidence before, this run, since he, now it's over a year since he came back from injury, but it looks different now. It just it's more consistent. It seems more sustainable. Here's Jonathan Gannon after the game.
I think he's playing. He's doing what he's coached to do, and he's got guys around him making a lot of plays. I know that, which is good to see. So he doesn't have to do it all. But when he has the ball in his hands, as a defensive guy, anytime he gets the snap, you're hanging on to your and I thought he was lights out today.
Yeah, you know what? I thought he was lights out as well. And what's super cool about this now is you're starting to see a little bit more consistency. You're starting to see a little bit more chemistry. Marvin Harrison Jr. and Kyler Murray, 5 receptions on 5 targets for 54 yards and a touchdown. And that touchdown was a back-breaking touchdown. The catch that he made in the corner of the end zone, Marvin Harrison Jr. to make it 21-6, is a chemistry class and confidence and how to build it with a quarterback. It is. That's how you do it. You go 5 for 5, that chemistry that is there, and then Kyler Murray throwing a ball out, a perfect ball, a great pass. When you think of a great throw beats great coverage every time, think of that touchdown to Marvin Harrison Jr. against DJ Reed.
And he hasn't had a lot of bad passes this season. You know how sometimes a quarterback will just have a bad... Look at Jared Goff's game last night. Like, Jared Goff was bad last night, and Jared Goff's a good quarterback, but he was bad last night, and they still won because they're Detroit, and that's what they're doing right now. But there hasn't been a lot of plays this season where you're like, oh, that was terrible, Kyler. Like, what was that? It's just a one play, just a one-off. Even if it was just a one bad play and then he recovers, he's had yesterday's game where he was, borderline perfect. It's not the first time he's done that this season. He did it against the Rams too. And I know now we look back and we say, oh, that was earlier in the season. I don't care. The Rams have owned the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. The Rams were the team more than anybody that seemed to be in Kyler Murray's head. And he basically had a perfect game against them earlier this season. So maybe that should have told us something. Here's more from Gannon post-game on Kyler Murray.
Okay. Good win. I thought we came out fast, started strong. All 3 phases, really. And then I really like how the half ended, not giving them the ball back. That's a Hall of Fame quarterback. You never want to give him the ball back at the 2-minute. So some of those plays were critical. I think we ended with a field goal, and then I think they have the ball at the start of the second half. I think it was a 4th down stop, and then we go right down the field and score. I'm sure you saw his stat line. I think the quarterback was the best player on the planet today. So kudos to him. And we'll work tomorrow. They're going to get a little bit of rest, and they know the season starts now.
Your thoughts on that, Luke?
It was, as the game was going, you had that thought of, like, Kyler's doing one of those, like, offensive player of the week performances. He's having one of those games. I know Lamar had a great game too on Thursday night, but it doesn't matter. He played in a way to put himself right back in that conversation again. He has those games where the other team just doesn't really have a chance. He doesn't really have bad games anymore. It's kind of either he's good most weeks or he's great some weeks. But there's not, the floor now seems to be good.
Yeah, the floor, I think, is definitely coming up. Big Red, the fact they scored a touchdown on their first 3 possessions of the game, that was brutal. 6 plays, 9 plays, 10 plays, touchdown in each possession. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. The Cardinals, by the way, based on their names, had 4 possessions in the first half and scored on every one of them. They had a field goal on the last one.
We got to add in. Then they went 88 yards for a touchdown on their first drive of the second half. So this Jets defense that is very talented, the Cardinals went touchdown, 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 field goal, touchdown against them to start the game.
Yes. There are two things that I'm so encouraged. Number one, the defense and how the defense is playing. They're scrapping. They're playing. That's number one. Number two as well, the fact the Arizona Cardinals offense has been able to go through the Chargers, the Dolphins, the Bears, and now yesterday with the Jets. And Basinonians, I know you can sit there and say, well, you know what, Wolf, the Jets, they're a mess and everything. And you're right about that. But once again, go look at the numbers, the metrics. You're talking about 4 of the best pass defenses in the National Football League. And the Arizona Cardinals have won all 4 of those games, largely because of how their offense is played.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.